I guess that's life in the big city, huh? They say there's no rest for us. Won't you hit this road with me, shawty? You can stand up in the sunroof, let your head down, let the wind hit your face, and just breathe, breathe, breathe.
Everything, but everything was never enough. My heart, my soul, the good, the bad, all that I am, everything.
Good morning, family. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. I hope all is well with you today. I am on my 2024 Indian Pursuit today. Going on to work. Got a short work week today. The city management decided to give us Friday off, so I'm going to make sure I'm present and attentive for my duties. Because I am appreciative of that. They are looking out for us. Given that this is going to be a holiday weekend, I have been posed with a difficult decision. And my son, who you may have seen on video, disagrees with me. And I kind of need your opinion. I've been toying with the idea of selling one of my motorcycles. I'm going to sell I want to sell the Harley Lowrider ST. Now, not because I hate Harley or anything like that. I just feel like I have become an Indian guy. And well, being that I've become an Indian guy, I don't see the need to keep an extra motorcycle, I guess, in the garage. Problem is, I've invested a lot of time in the Harley Lowrider ST, a lot of money, and most of it is really customization, things that I liked at the time about Harley, right? At the time. Now, I still like my Harley Lowrider ST. Let's not get it twisted. The problem I have is with the culture that Harley has established, right? Harley makes a fantastic motorcycle. It does its job, it does what it's supposed to do. Problem I have is that, you know, I bought this Lowrider ST in June of 2024, and I had to customize. I've probably spent thousands of dollars in customization on this motorcycle, right? So for me, I'm like, man, in order to get that Harley Lowrider ST to where it's at today, I have to, do everything to it. I had to throw a saddleman seat on it, which I love. Man, that saddleman seat was great. It came with a Sundowner, which is Harley's top of the line seat. That was nice, but I upgraded to the Sundowner because I wanted a backrest. The Saddleman. Problem with the Sundowner is it does not allow for a backrest, so I ended up buying the Saddleman because I wanted a backrest. Floorboards, custom dynamic signal lights, Advent black lights in the vents on the saddlebag. Bought a Hogworks tour pack, rick rack bag, just a lot of accessories, man. And it's not, and it's nothing personal. It's just that, I put a lot of money into it, and I'm really riding my Indian. I'm just riding my Indian. And occasionally I jump on the Harley for nostalgia. It's a nice looking bike. But I was reminded yesterday by a friend that even though it's a Harley, and I got it hooked up, the Harley groups in my area, they really don't treat it like a Harley because it's not a road glide or a street glide. And I don't care, right? Who cares? I like the Harley. I like the Lowrider, right? So I if they don't treat me, they treat me different because I got I don't have a road glide or a street glide. So what, right? It's I paid for what I liked. I like what I ride, and I rode it. 15,100, 200 miles, something like that, right? So I don't care. Cross to Phoenix and back. So it did a wonderful job. So I'm just tossed up in my thought process on what I should do. Should I buy should I sell the Harley, or should I keep it? Now my son, he may have some selfish motivations that underline that I'm not aware of. He's he's like, hey man, keep the bike. You know, it may come up for different things, and in transparency, he's like, it might come up in content. His big thing now is we're making some motion in YouTube, and so he wants to, he's like, maybe I can use it and da da da. So, and there is some good points to that. And I did honestly intend when he turned 16 to possibly give him that bike after he took the MSF, and give him 2 years of riding with me before he would be cut loose when he turned 18, just because I want to make sure he'll be responsible. So I'm really tossed up on what I should do. I don't know. He doesn't want me to sell the bike, and he hasn't even really mentioned really for himself, but I don't know if I want to sell the bike.
This is Phase Music.
The lines have been drawn. It is not that I don't like Harley. It is not that I would never ride a Harley. It is not that Harley doesn't make a nice product. My preference is an Indian. I am an Indian rider for the reasons I've stated earlier. There's better technology in my opinion. I like the power it puts out. Good enough for me. I'm a new touring bike guy, so that kind of stuff doesn't matter to me. I heard a content creator, Slappy's Adventures. Go see his channel. He's a very funny, very informative content creator, I think. And I don't know him. Something I saw on his channel made me think he's absolutely right. He said, I'm not going to turn a wrench. He was talking about trading in his Harley Davidson for a new Gold Wing, I think. And here I am. I'm not trying to buy a new vehicle. I'm simply saying that I don't want to keep two vehicles in the house, right? Not for any particular reason, just because I don't need the Harley Davidson. I figured I can use it to do other things, use that funding, for other things. Maybe save it for a couple of years, give it to one of my children, who show interest and show reasonable responsibility of being able to handle the rules of the road on two wheels. Now, if I'm keeping it 100 with you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with my lowrider ST. I did tell you a story once, if you've been paying attention to any of the videos, that the one time I dropped it, I was doing a slow maneuver and I scratched the saddlebag. I just scratched it, right? Right after that, I got me some saddlebag guards because I didn't have them. I was a newbie, I didn't know. So that's where I was at with it. Now here's the bike. Beautiful bike. Harley did a great job on the 24 lowrider ST. If I'm being honest, I wish I had got a 25. I wish I'd known 25 was going to come out the way it was. I liked the 25, right? Anyway, I am not understanding how the market dictates supply and demand for such prestigious vehicles, right? Whether it be Indian or Harley. And the prices, they sell you, they give you low pricing for what they consider reasonable for the sellback. And like I said, if you got a Porsche 911, Aston Martin, Mercedes-Benz from, with an antique tag, they're gonna throw, you're gonna pay top dollar. I've seen antique cars going for some good money. So my thing is, I know it's not an antique, and I'm not asking for top dollar. And I'm not dumb enough to think, or naive enough to think, just because I dumped 15 grand worth of accessories into a vehicle, that I should be compensated for that. I just want to be treated fair. And I don't think I was being treated fair. The price quoted was the price, that they said they were looking to, and they were amicable at the time, but the hire manager came back and said, nah, and then cut me down $4,000. $4,000 on a 2024 with 15,100 miles on it, approximately. And I'm thinking to myself, I just saw a bike that had 30,000 miles for $24,000 on it. The same bike at the dealership. I said, hold on a second. We're not doing that. I said, I would rather bless somebody I work with, a young kid, and he came up to me and said, hey man, I give you 15, 16 grand. So, you know, some young, kid working, doing his business. I'd rather bless some kid like that, or even give it to one of my own, just as a gift when they decide they want to get right, But my youngest son, the one you see in the video sometime, he was like, man, don't sell it. That was my youngest son. He said, we can do so much things with that thing. Just keep it, right? And it's like I said, it's not about disliking Harley. I don't have a problem with Harley products. I know I got some friends that are like, whatever, F Harley, right? That's their business. I'm not tripping, right? But me personally, we do a lot of advertising for Harley, man. And I think you do that for any product you like. Think about it. If you're a Harley rider, you got yourself a shirts, hats, mask, the bike itself, right? Is all slapped up with Harley on it, right? I mean, and that's the world that the Harley people live in, and that's fine. 100% fine with that. I'm just choosing a line, and my line is Indian. I think for me, my Indian Pursuit Dark Horse Icon is better than any or most, or just as good as most Harleys out now. I don't know about the CVOs and the STs, so I can't speak to that. They look nice. They look great. I haven't test rode one of those. However, I have test rode just regular road rides for 24, and they're just average to me. They're just nice bikes. You know what I mean? And the technology. And then the price that I was quoted for that bike at the time, and I wish I had the paperwork on me, but the price for like $5,000 more, I got 100 watt per speaker, 6-speaker stereo system on my bike. I got, the ride command, which I really like. I'm starting to like, you know what I'm saying? I was a little iffy about it. And my windshield, I've talked about that a dozen times. For all those features on the bike, the Indian is the line that I've drawn in the sand. And no offense to Harley, and no offense, I'm not an ambassador for Harley. I'm not an ambassador for Indian. I'm simply saying that's the product I like. And, that's what we're going to do. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Again, no disrespect to Harley Davidson. I still got the Harley flag on the wall, as you can see back there. I got the Indian flag on the wall, banner rather, on the wall, as you can see like there. I still got the Harley Davidson inside the vehicle. Inside the garage. I'm going to keep riding this bike until I sell it or give it away, one or the other, right? And at the end of the day, I do like my Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. I did do a lot of work to it. I might keep it for nostalgia's sake. I don't even know, just because it was my first. Anyway, we're going to talk about that later. But again, I've drawn the line in the sand. And for me, her name is not Overcast. His name is Casper. That's what I'm talking about. Look how fly that is. You know what I'm saying? I got that Breezy Rider on there. Boy, you know what? I like my seat too. It's like even if I took the Breezy Rider off, I wouldn't even be mad because my seat is just as comfortable. It's everything about this bike is, to me, makes it a better product. As of right now. Who knows what happens in 26 and 27? Maybe Harley makes something that really turns my head. We'll go from there. We'll see. Remember, if you got a bike in your garage sitting there collecting dust, pull it out, dust it off, gas it up, and enjoy the ride.
I guess that's life in the big city, huh? They say there's no rest for us. Won't you hit this road with me, shawty? You can stand up in the sunroof, let your head down, let the wind hit your face, and just breathe, breathe, breathe.